Hey, friends, welcome back to our Ask Me Anything series here on the Untethering Shame podcast. I'm Kira, and every Monday, I'm answering your real, raw, deeply human questions, the ones that live in the messy middle. No shame, no filters, just radical acceptance and the space to show up as you are. Today's question comes from a listener who asked to remain anonymous, and I just want to start off by saying thank you. Thank you for trusting me and this community with such an honest, layered, and deeply personal reflection. Here's what she wrote. As I move through this season of transition, planning a wedding, adjusting to life in my first home, navigating a changing friendship that I'm not sure I want to keep, managing a high-energy puppy who I love but who adds a lot to my plate, and learning how to live with an alopecia diagnosis that's affecting my confidence and sense of self, how can I begin to understand who I'm becoming in the midst of it all? How do I honor the version of me who got here, let go of the identities or roles that no longer fit, and find a grounded sense of trust in myself, even when I feel overwhelmed, self-conscious, or unsure of what I need? It's a big one. Let's talk about it. This question is such a powerful mirror for something so many of us go through, but don't often know how to name: identity transitions, the in-between, the blurry moments where we've outgrown one version of ourselves, but haven't quite settled into the next. And in this listener's case, she's not just navigating one transition, she's holding many at once. A new home, a new relationship dynamic, a shifting friendship, a medical diagnosis, a change in routine, responsibility, and energy. And the pressure to figure out who she's becoming inside of all that. That's a lot. So if you're listening and you're in your own version of this, the first thing I want to say is your overwhelm makes sense. Because here's the thing. When we talk about growth and transformation, we often skip over the grief. But there's always grief in change. Even good change. Even chosen change. This is what's known as ambiguous loss. Grieving something that doesn't have clear edges. The friendship that might be ending but hasn't, the self-image that's shifting, the version of you that used to feel confident or in control or clear on what was next, who now feels shaky and unsure. And yet you're still showing up, still asking the question, how do I honor who I've been while becoming who I'm meant to be? So let's ground into a few things here. The first is the idea of integration over reinvention. You don't need to become a whole new person to navigate transition. What you need is integration, a way to honor your past self, listen to your present needs, and make space for your future self to emerge. It's not about erasing or fixing who you are. It's about thanking her, letting her know, you got me here, and now I get to take the lead from here. Try this. Write a letter to your past self. Acknowledge the roles that she's played, even the ones that don't fit anymore. And then write a letter from your future self. Let her remind you that this version of you is still becoming, still unfolding, and still enough. Point number 2, radical acceptance. Radical acceptance doesn't mean liking everything. It means being with what is. With alopecia, with stress, with friendship confusion, with puppy chaos, with wedding plans and fatigue and joy and fear. All of it. Radical acceptance is about loosening the grip on who you think you're supposed to be and holding space for who you are right now. You're allowed to grieve what's shifting and still feel joy for what's growing. You're allowed to want peace and be deeply uncomfortable. That duality is not a failure. It's a sign you're fully alive. 3, let your boundaries evolve with your reality. As your life shifts, your capacity shifts too, which means your boundaries need to reflect your current bandwidth, not who you were before the move, before the diagnosis, before the dog, before the grief. It's not unkind to say no. It's honest. It's loving. It's how we show up for ourselves in the most grounded way possible by saying, this is what I have to give. This is what I need to hold back. And if a friendship no longer fits inside those boundaries, it's okay to let it go. That's not selfish. That's self-trust. And finally, number 4, who you're becoming will reveal herself slowly. She doesn't need to be rushed. You don't have to have it all figured out today. The becoming happens in the tiny moments. Saying no when you used to say yes, looking in the mirror and not shaming yourself for what's changed, choosing rest over productivity, naming your truth out loud, even when it's hard. You don't need to arrive anywhere. You just need to keep choosing yourself, moment by moment. So if you're navigating a season like this too, here's what I want you to remember. You are allowed to grieve what you've lost and be grateful for what's ahead. You don't need to reinvent yourself. Just integrate who you've been with who you're becoming. Boundaries are not a betrayal. They are a declaration of self-worth. And you don't have to know exactly who you are. You just have to be willing to listen. Maybe that's what self-trust really is. Not having the answers, just having the willingness to keep asking the questions. So to our anonymous listener, thank you. Thank you for your vulnerability, your depth, and your willingness to say the hard things out loud. And to everyone else tuning in, if this episode stirred something in you, or if you've got your own question you've been sitting with, I'd love to hear from you. You can submit your question anonymously or with your name at the link in the show notes. We are just getting started with Ask Me Anything, and these conversations, they matter. Your voice matters. So until next time, honor your becoming. Let go of what no longer fits and keep choosing to show up as you are. We'll talk again soon.